Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video, and welcome to something just a little bit different. Now, earlier on this week I made a video talking about kind of 5 massive changes EA need to make with F1 25, or at least for future F1 games inside this series. It feels like, especially with My Team 2.0, we've got a fantastic groundwork now with the game, but there are just still some fundamental problems that are stopping F1 25 from being really, really good. But of course, as always, with these kind of things, why wait for EA to fix it when modders can turn around and tweak it within about a week? Now, I stumbled across, I was having a look on Overtake GG Online, which is basically the biggest mod site for sim racing games, and I came across a mod that I will leave a link down in the description below, which apparently makes the racing a lot more realistic inside F1 25. Now, prior to this recording, I have not tried this mod yet. This is going to be my first impressions of it. Like I said, we're just going to dive in. We're going to do a 35% race around the Belgian Grand Prix. Hopefully this is something interesting. Let me know down in the comments below if there's any other mods I need to try out inside F1 25. But I figured this would be a good fun little series to do. You know, just testing some of the tweaks and changes that people make to the game. Work out what works, what doesn't inside F1 25 as well. Get yourself subscribed if you're new around here. We're trying to hit 150k subs on the channel. Leave a like if you want me to do more of these videos as well. But yeah, let's head then down to the track. Well, here we are then down on the grid. I'm going to drive as Lando Norris for this one because of course the McLaren is the quickest one inside the game. But we're going to start from the back of the field because the biggest changes that this mod makes to F1 25 apparently is meant to be how the cars handle in dirty air. 5 red lights are on, and it's going to be lights out, and away we go then. Now, like I said, yeah, dirty air is kind of one of the big changes that they've tried to tweak. Also, apparently DRS as well now is going to be a lot less effective, so this is why I wanted to come to somewhere like Belgium to test this out, because hopefully we're still going to obviously be able to make overtakes in this race, but not as easily as we would normally see. There is plenty of cars going side by side. Oh, up through a Rouge Radion, and immediately getting a little bit slidey there behind Isaac Hadjar just in front of me. See, he's immediately going to try and get a run on Lance Stroll. Now, they have said that because obviously of the tweaks to the DRS, you will find that you will get slightly more DRS trains, but I figured Belgium, if you guys remember last year, throughout most of the Grand Prix, there was actually a DRS train from basically George Russell all the way down to, I believe, Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez in like P7 and P8 there. Is immediately I'm noticing just how much more careful, well, I've got to try and be on the throttle pedal. It honestly makes it feel a bit more like F1 23. You can definitely feel what the back end of the car is doing, but certainly, you know, it's still sliding around a little bit more underneath you. Of course, we've kind of seen on F1 25 just how much grip the cars have inside the game there, but yeah, it feels like obviously normally on F1 25 you've got to really just kind of attack all the time, obviously unless you're trying to look after the tyres. But yeah, you're always kind of really trying to push to the absolute limits, especially as kind of like more and more upgrades have gone onto the cars as well. It has made things a little bit difficult. You know, it's been one of the things that I've seen a lot of you guys complaining about, that the R&D, you basically do not have a chance to catch up to the AI in career mode. If you start with like a backmarker team like I've done, by the time you get to like Season 3, the AI have done all of their upgrades, and you just can't catch them anymore, which is something that I might run into problems with very, very soon. In towards Turn 1, they're having to be really, really careful not to lock up the brakes then. But let's try and see what the DRS is like this time round then, as already it looks like our top 3 have kind of had a little bit of a breakaway at the front of the order then. Eau Rouge on warmer tyres, definitely still easy flat out. You know, it should be not too much of a problem. Well, there we go then. You can see we are able to get fully alongside Alex Albon, but as soon as we get in front of him, they're really, really struggling to kind of obviously try and make much more of an impact. And, well, I would say normally, I reckon, if we'd continued using the DRS, we would have probably got comfortably past Liam Lawson as well. So, immediately, I'm definitely feeling, that this works quite well there. Again, you just see getting a little bit of a snap of oversteer, and Alex Albon will once again say thank you very much. Now, I believe because obviously the the dirty air figures are slightly different. Tyre wear, I assume, is going to be a bit worse as well. So I would hope that, you might see a few Grand Prix being stretched into a 2-stop. But there's actually another mod I found as well for F1 25 that will hopefully kind of make 2-stop strategies a lot more viable. It's actually 2 mods wrapped into one. Whoever it is, I think they made it so more races are meant to be 2 stops in 50% league races. Obviously, we're doing a 35% race, so this one shouldn't make a difference. So we've got yellow flags out. Someone's already breaking down then. Not too sure what's happened there. Nico Hulkenberg, a podium at Silverstone, and unfortunately for him, it's going to be disappointment here in Belgium.
Okay, they're out of this race.
But yeah, that mod as well also apparently changes how effective upgrades are as well on the cars. So, what we've kind of seen this season, especially in career mode, is that basically we've had McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull absolutely dominant out in front at the top of the table. And then everybody else, basically been myself and Alex Albon normally fighting for scraps. Hopefully that's not going to be as a common occurrence if we try out that mod as well. I'm just a little bit scared at the moment to try and change too many things in career mode in case we kind of break the game. Now, I know it is something that EA are really, really looking into as well, and obviously want to try and fix for F1 25 in the near future, that hopefully, especially with wet tyres as well, that they're not as broken. Like intermediates, for example, you just cannot look after them in a race. They overheat horrendously. The AI have no problems with it. So people are, slowly tweaking and changing that to obviously try and make it a little bit more fair against the AI as well inside this game. But I mean, already, lap times, I've noticed. We shouldn't notice too much of a difference, apparently, in normal kind of... If you're at, like, the front of the train, for example, things like that. If you're Oscar Piastri in the other car, it should be okay. But, yeah, lap times are having to be so much more careful in the car early on there, not able to quite attack Jack Doohan in the way I would want to normally. You can still see they're able to get a run. McLaren versus Alpine should be a fairly simple one. There is around the outside we will go. Luckily, we were fully alongside him there and not really getting any dirty air from Jack Doohan as well in that moment. But through the final couple of corners, the back end, you just, like I said, you've got to drive it more like a real Formula 1 car, I would expect.
Keep it up.
Well, it's always something that kind of people I don't think realise when you move to like iRacing or Automobilista 2 or anything like that, that you kind of have to drive the cars much more safely than you do on the F1 games there. You cannot afford to take as big risk in towards corners and things like that. So we'll try and see them with the big slipstream. Still able to get a run on Liam Lawson. I am running very, very low downforce anyway around this circuit, but yeah, unless I use the ERS there, we're barely kind of pulling alongside him, which normally I think I probably would have still flown by up at the top of the circuit. So it is working really, really well, as you can see. Yeah, the AI trains are a little bit more, but it doesn't seem ridiculous. Your top three have kind of still broken away. Even George Russell, that must be in that first Mercedes car there, has actually got away from kind of the rest of this midfield group. But I mean, normally the apex speed into a Rouge is probably about 160 odd. We're having to do it at 150 there, just to make sure we get the car kind of the front end tipped in and everything like that. So I would say, yeah, this is really, really working rather nicely at the moment. Now, like I said, tyre wear I don't think should be tweaked too much with this mod, but we're certainly noticing it's a little bit worse than what I would normally get inside this game as well there. But so far, so good. And yeah, I would really say if you're on PC, give this mod a whirl. See if you kind of like it. It is going to make the game a lot less forgiving. I would definitely say you're going to want to lower your AI difficulty slightly. I'm just running 1.5 for this video just to make sure that, we were going to get a good battle and everything like that. But I mean, even there in 5th gear, as you drop it off the curb because of the dirty air, whoa, you really, really notice it is trying to get down the inside of Fernando Alonso at that first corner. Again, something that I really like in F1 25 is actually the loss of grip, or the loss of braking performance when you're tucked under the car in front of you. So, yeah, that still obviously is very, very prominent, even more prominent now, I would argue. Obviously, with these tweaks and changes there, there's 214 miles an hour to the outside of Lewis Hamilton. As Esteban Ocon and Kimi Antonelli there battling just up in front of us. Antonelli able to make the moves. So clearly, you know, the AI are still able to make overtakes around here as well. Whoa! As you can just see there, again, making a little bit of a moment of it. Luckily, just about able to keep the car pointing in the right direction.
Okay,
but
no issues with tyre wear for now.
yeah,
Keep taking care of them.
I think like for career mode and stuff, it's going to make it a lot more realistic if you want to use this mod. But you, like I said, you are definitely going to be slower. You've got to obviously drive the car with a lot more patience now. I don't believe it's really affecting tyre temperature too much either. Belgium isn't the worst track in the world for kind of tyre management anyway. Inside F125, you know, we could have gone to like Barcelona or something like that. I feel like this circuit with this mod would be really, really difficult to try and get the car hooked up as well. But I mean, yeah, you can definitely see there's a bit of a train kind of around us at the moment, and there's a bit of a train further back. But you know, your front runners are able to kind of pull away from each other. It works quite well in that regard, as Antonelli there, just giving Ocon a squeeze, and I've got it. I've just got into the back of Esteban Ocon in reverse down at those final couple of corners. That's not ideal. Luckily, damage, I believe, is turned off. Otherwise, or sim damage is turned off. Otherwise, I think we would have completely wrecked the rear wing there. But yeah, this works really, really nicely inside F125. I would definitely say, I would recommend you guys give this a whirl and see how it works out for you as well. Because, yeah, it just, like I said, it makes the cars feel a lot more kind of like a real Formula 1 car, like you would expect them to handle. You know, you can't take absolute liberties with it like you would normally, you know, absolutely attacking the curbs, everything like that. You can still see, when I use all of the DRS there and the battery, we're still able to get a good run on the AI in front. But of course now, yeah, you're going to have to really try and nurse the ERS over the next few laps to try and get the car back under control as well there. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to do like a short little experiment video today, just trying this out. I would definitely recommend giving this mod a whirl if you're on PC, and just kind of seeing how you find it. Do a couple of test races, maybe do like some 25% events. I would probably say go to somewhere like Monza, and then somewhere like Barcelona, just to kind of see if you're happy with how it works inside the game. It's a really simple installation. It is just drag and drop into your F125 game file as well. That's going to do us for this video, though. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know if you'd want to see me do some more mod showcases in the future. But yeah, we'll be back very soon with more F125 content.